Recently, I had a flare-up of back pain. I had spent the afternoon cleaning the house, and I laid down on the bed for a few minutes before getting up to have a shower. And when I did get up, I realized that I couldn't twist my spine. I was having some sharp pains on the right side of my mid-back, and it was making it really hard to move. I could feel that the muscles in my back were really tight and taut on that right side, and certain movements were really painful. So here is exactly what I did to help my back feel better fast, and what you can try at home as well. So the first thing that I want to mention here, sort of as a little disclaimer, is that this wasn't an acute back injury, meaning I wasn't in the middle of an activity where I felt something pop or snap or crack or anything like that and then had sudden back pain come on. It was just that I had overworked my muscles from doing the cleaning, I laid down for a bit, and things had just seized up. So it wasn't an acute injury. There wasn't one specific thing that caused my back pain. So this video isn't really for you if you are having an acute back pain. So if you know exactly what caused your back to be sore, like you bent over to pick something up and you felt something pop, or you fell and hurt yourself, then this video isn't for you, and you should probably go see either your doctor or a physiotherapist to have your back checked out. So this is more for that chronic pain, like you just have flare-ups every once in a while, your body's a little bit overworked, maybe you wake up with the back pain, or like me, I was doing a lot of housework and it sort of gradually came on over time. So the first thing that I did, and what I was going to do anyways because I've been cleaning the house all day, was take a hot shower. So this helps to bring blood to the area. So I made sure that I had the temperature nice and warm, and I let it hit the area of my back that was feeling really sore. I mean, I had a shower everywhere, so everything was warm anyways, but I paid particular attention to focus on the water on that area. Once all my muscles and joints were nice and warm, I came out to my living room and I used my spiky ball to roll up my back and release any muscle tension that I was having. So like I said, the muscles on the right side of my spine felt really tight and stiff and taut, and that was making it difficult for me to move. So I used my spiky ball and I rolled along the areas that were sore to help release some of that tension. Now, it's important to know that when you're using something like a spiky ball or having a massage or something, that sometimes we can have referred patterns of pain. So it might mean that the pain is coming from a different area, but you feel it in one specific area. So I was feeling the pain in sort of my mid-back on the right side, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly where the pain is originating from. So I made sure to go above and below the level of the pain to release the muscle tension all along my back, my neck, and my shoulder. The next thing that I did once my muscles were warm and they're feeling a bit more relaxed was I did some gentle mobility and stretches. So I just went as far as my body would let me go, and I kind of held it until I could feel the pain easing a little bit, and then I would come back to center and then keep repeating it a few times. The important thing to note here is that the best thing that you can do to help your back is to do gentle mobility and keep it moving. What a lot of people want to do is to lay down and not move. And that can actually cause more stiffening, more tightness, and more pain. So you want to just be gentle in your body, move around a little bit, nothing too extreme, but you don't want to be completely sedentary. The next thing that I did, and this was more towards the end of the day while I was gearing up to go to sleep, is I used some physio cream. I just had my partner rub some on my back where I was feeling sore, and that really helped to make my back feel better. The next thing that I want to talk about is relative rest. So I didn't go back to my normal routine with, doing more housework or doing more cleaning. I just took it easy. I was doing some gentle movement. I wasn't completely sedentary by just laying on the couch for the rest of the afternoon, but I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't do any heavy lifting or heavy housework. I just focused on relative rest. The next thing was that I made sure I got a good night's sleep and that I was hydrating. So again, both of these are going to be really important, whether it's back pain or sickness that you're dealing with. We want to give our body the best opportunity to heal. And in order for that to happen, we need to be hydrated and we need to have a good night's sleep. So I tried to make sure that I incorporated both of those into my day. So when I woke up the next day, I was still a little bit stiff and sore first thing in the morning, and that's obviously because I had been laying in bed and not really moving all night. But it was much better than it had been the previous day. And so I repeated the entire process. I had my hot shower, used my spiky ball, did some mobility, used some physio cream, and just kind of kept moving, relatively resting. And by the next day, I was right as rain. So if you follow this pattern, you should be good within 24 to 48 hours, maybe 72 hours if you've had back pain for longer or you're a little bit older, it takes longer to recover. But if you have ongoing pain or it's lingering more than a few days, then I would definitely go seek out your GP or a physiotherapist so that they can assess and see what's going on. Now, here is the key. This is the most important thing, so you definitely need to pay attention to this point right here, right now. Nothing else matters that I've talked about already unless you're paying attention to this bit. Now, what I've talked about so far will help with the short-term management, so it will get you feeling better within a few days so that you can get back to your normal activities. but your back pain will come back on if you don't address the root cause of the problem. So we need to focus on long-term management. So we've done the short-term stuff, we're feeling better. Now we get to work on making sure it doesn't happen again. And we do this by addressing the root cause. Most of the time it's because your muscles are either short and tight or they're long and weak. So we need to focus on building strength, we need to focus on mobility and flexibility, and then proper sleep, hydration, nutrition, and your mindset will all play into making sure that you don't have back pain in the future. So for me, it made sense that my back was having a flare-up, and I knew exactly why and what was causing it. I knew that I had been sedentary for a week because I had other things going on and I needed to take a week off of the gym, so I didn't go to the gym for a week. I was having an intensive at work, which meant that I was doing a lot of heavy lifting with being a physiotherapist. I was doing a lot more cleaning than I normally did because we were having guests over, so we did really deep cleaning of the house. So I was really bent over, doing vacuuming and mopping and that sort of stuff. And I had been waking up early, so I wasn't necessarily getting the same amount of sleep that I normally had. So all of these things together, it makes sense that I was having some back pain. I had been kind of neglecting my normal routine, so it makes sense that I would have a flare-up. I do also have a mild scoliosis. It hasn't been diagnosed by a doctor or anything, but I have seen in some imaging and just from my own clinical investigations, I can tell that I have a mild scoliosis, so that plays into it as well. So we've managed it in the short term and we're feeling better. Now we go into maintenance mode. So this is where we do the things that will prevent back pain from coming on again in the future. So this is things like developing a mobility routine. If you're not sure what sort of mobility routine you should be doing, you can definitely check out my YouTube channel. I have other videos all about that. I've just released a quick and easy morning mobility routine that you can check out, and that focuses a lot on spinal mobility and health. So along with mobility, we also want to be doing some strengthening. So you need to be doing exercises specific for your back to strengthen those muscles. In today's society, we are always hunched over, looking down at our devices, looking down at laptops or phones. We don't sit with good posture, and all of that leads to a weak back, especially if you're not focusing on strengthening your back when you're at home or at the gym. So if you want to see a dedicated workout video on what you should be doing to strengthen your back, comment down below and I can definitely create that one for you guys. And then the other important thing is just being mindful of your lifting practices. So not lifting things that are too heavy for you or lifting and twisting in funny ways. All of those good ergonomic practices that I'm sure you've heard of before. Now, if you decide to just do the short-term stuff, you feel better now, and then you don't do anything to prevent it in the future, then what can happen is you will have more flare-ups, they will be more severe, they'll get closer in duration, meaning you won't have as much good rest time in between flare-ups, and they'll become more frequent, and it just becomes a chronic problem. And then it becomes a lot harder to solve and to fix once it becomes a chronic problem. So for me, right now, I'm still fairly young, and I just have flare-ups every now and then. And I know that it's because I've neglected to do my mobility and my strengthening exercises. So I need to go into maintenance mode to help protect my back in the future. So if you want to improve your back, have less flare-ups in the future, and avoid having chronic pain, then definitely be following all of the tips that I've talked about in this video. All right, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below and hit the subscribe. I'm uploading a new video every 3 days and you're not going to want to miss this content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.